I'm your host, Caroline Moore, here with Eye on LC. Join us to keep up with the latest and greatest on campus. Hello everyone, thanks for joining us. This week was filled with some nail-biting games of lacrosse to the annual Genworth 10-miler. Let's turn to Emmanuel, Scotland for a chance to catch up on the local news going on around Lynchburg. Emmanuel?
Thanks, Caroline. Lynchburg College now offers a bike shack. It is located in the parking lot behind 335 College Street. Students can donate bikes and repair old bikes back to working condition. Connor Knight went to see what it is all about.
Dr. Kevin Peterson, Dr. Mike Coco, and Professor Brian Kane started the Bike Shack to have students be more involved in their bikes.
But we wanted the students to have more ownership in the bikes, and so we thought the best way to do that would be to start a small bike cooperative where people can work on their bikes or take these donated bikes and work on them and make them their own. Now they're their bikes and they need to take care of them, and it seems to be working quite well. As far as everything else, we've gotten support from essentially the entire campus community. The Chief Financial Officer, Steve Bright, has supported us. Of course, President Guerin supports all of our sustainability efforts. It's been one of our most positive sustainability endeavors in the last 3 years, and we're expecting it to just get bigger and better. Our main mission is to get students on affordable bikes that are reliable, and when there are ever any problems, they can roll them right over here and get them fixed.
The Bike Shack is opened Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. The shack is located on 333 College Street, behind the brick house.
The campus also offered an Olympic-themed speech which incorporated physics. The event was hosted by Dr. Eric Goff. Lisa Huber went to cover the story.
I'm about to head off to the science gang and hear physics professor Dr. Goff talk about the physics of the Olympics.
Well, I highlighted a very nice rule in the diving book that says you can't use the board to actually get you spinning. And what you have to do is, after you jump off the platform or the diving board, is to start moving your arms and legs in certain directions and bend at the waist and do all of this kind of contortion just to get your dive twisting and tumbling. All those pretty twists and pikes and everything else, layouts that you see, are all done by the athlete in the air. They have incredibly strong cores. They can twist their arms and legs around and done from the board.
And do you do any sports? And so do you use physics when you participate in them?
I thought when I was in high school I might give professional baseball a try.
Really?
Decided probably not good enough, maybe Class B, Class C ball type minor league. Thought I'd do physics, so I'm probably one of the few people who's doing physics because something else was more difficult. I do karate now, and I love playing ping pong and other kinds of sports if I get a chance, but nothing like when I was young.
Lynchburg hosted its annual Genworth Virginia 10-miler on September 29th. A record number of participants showed up to run and walk in the 10-mile run, the 4-mile run, and the 4-mile walk. The event was hosted at E.C. Glass High School. Caroline Moore covered the story.
Hello everyone, my name is Caroline Moore from Eye on LC, and today we are celebrating the 39th year anniversary of the Genworth 10-miler in Lynchburg, Virginia. Today there's been a 10-mile run, a 4-mile run, a 4-mile walk, and yesterday there was the Amazing Mile Children's Run. There is something for everyone here at the Genworth 10-miler. So let's go around and check it out. Now you're recording. Did you record?
Congratulations, you just finished the Genworth Virginia 10-miler. And finishing strong is Preston Evans.
Hello guys, once again we are at the Genworth 10-miler, and so who do we have here?
Amanda. I'm Brian.
Great, and is this your first 10 miler that you've run?
Yes, it's our first 10 miler.
Yeah, first and last.
My first of many.
Great, and what do you guys think of it? Okay, and here we are with Chuck Moore, my father. So, Dad, how did you like it?
First 10 mile I've ever run, Caroline. Pretty dang tough.
How do you think you did? Did you get a good time?
I did about where I thought I'd come in. Everybody told me that running in Lynchburg's a whole lot harder than running in Richmond, and it dang sure is.
Absolutely, with all the hills, definitely. So, did you find it ironic that your bid number is 911?
Well, I'm glad that I didn't have to call 911 instead, but yeah, that was pretty cool. I don't know how I got 911, but you know, I'm proud to run with it.
There you go, way to support it. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Caroline.
Go, Chuck! Go, Chuck! Go! Woohoo! Woo! Woo! Yeah!
And this was Eye on LC at the Genworth 10 miler. Hope you guys enjoyed it, got a little view of what's been going on. Have a great day, and back to you guys in the studio.
And that's it for local news. Back to you, Caroline.
Thanks, Emmanuel. Perhaps I will join the runners in next year's 10 miler. Now let's move over to Kestrel Curl to see what sports had in store for us this past week. Kestrel?
Thanks, Caroline. I'd say the Hornets are on a roll. This was another tremendous week for LC Athletics. Wins and high finishes were just about everywhere you look. But of course, the attention grabber this week was the spectacle that ensued upon the arrival of a certain Division I lacrosse team. Were you one of the over 2,000 people in attendance for our highlight game? Well, scrimmage of the week? UVA traveled down 29 to take on LC's men's lacrosse team for a second year in a row, and boy was it a close one. Both teams played well as the game was back and forth, and heading into the fourth quarter, Lynchburg was leading thanks to 3 straight Hornet goals to end the third. However, UVA showed their grit as they netted 5 goals in the fourth to end the game and take the final 9-5. Sophomore Adam Davey dazzled in goal for the Hornets, making 12 great saves in 45 minutes of play. Ryan Tucker had a hat trick for the Who's, and Jay Goldsmith scored and assisted for LC. While that game was grabbing all the headlines, the Hornets are busy getting wins. Here are your Hornet headlines. Men's soccer improved to 3-5-2 overall with a tie after 2 overtimes with Randolph, followed by a hard-fought win over Randolph-Macon, 1-0. Women's soccer faced Guilford this week and cruised to a 4-0 victory. They are without a loss on the season at 9-0-1. Field hockey swept this week's games, beating Easter Mennonite 3-0 and Bridgewater 9-1. They are 8-2 overall and a perfect 4-0 in the conference. To the hard court we go. Volleyball also took this week's games and in straight sets nonetheless, beating Guilford and Mary Washington. Golf finished 7th at Hamden Sydney Invitational. Colby Francis shot a 79 on his way to 11th. And cross country ran well as always. The fellows finished 5th of 26 and the ladies 9th of 24. That's all the action from this past week. Be sure to keep your eye on LC Sports and head online for a full list of this week's games. Caroline?
Thanks, Kestrel. This was an exciting week in sports for the Hornets. It appears the fall season has finally arrived in Lynchburg. Let's turn to Lisa Huber to see if the cool weather will last for the week. Lisa?
Thanks, Caroline. The big story of this week is that a large storm is going to be moving in Monday night through Tuesday, which is going to cause several hours of rain. Since there will be rain for an exceeding amount of time, rainfall amounts could reach over 1 inch on Tuesday. But once this front moves through on Tuesday, the rest of the week looks fine, which brings us to our 7-day forecast. Monday is going to be partly cloudy until the evening, when there's a 30% chance of showers, with a high around 70 and lows in the upper 50s. Tuesday, the front moves through, causing a 60% chance of rain, with highs only in the upper 60s. It will be warming up Wednesday through Friday, though, with mainly dry conditions, minus a 30% chance of rain on Friday. But it's going to cool down on Saturday, with highs in the upper 60s. It will be dry on Saturday. Remember to like Eye on LC Weather on Facebook and get daily weather forecasts every day. Back to you, Caroline.
Thanks, Lisa. Sounds like it's going to be a great week ahead of us. And finally, Emmanuel has what's going on in international and national news. What exciting stories do you have for us, Emmanuel?
Thanks, Caroline. On Wednesday, September 26th, a 24-hour general strike had been called by Greek trade unions in response to the passing of unwanted austerity measures. Conflict between police and demonstrators occurred outside of the Greek parliament in Athens during the protest. Police eventually responded with tear gas when protesters began to throw Molotov cocktails in Syntagma Square, located on the opposite side of the Parliament building. On Friday, September 28th, Damon A. Thibodeau, a man from Louisiana who has spent 15 years on death row for murder he has been falsely accused of, has been released from prison in an exoneration brought by the Innocence Project. Thibodeau was accused of murdering and raping his 14-year-old step-cousin. Researchers say that he is only one of the 2,000 wrongfully convicted people who have been exonerated over the last 23 years. In other news, President Barack Obama seems to have the advantage over Mitt Romney in the pre-election polling to become the next president. President Obama has exceeded 50% support among voters as indicated in new polls of 3 swing states. President Obama is currently holding leads of 9 to 12 points over Mitt Romney. 4 polls suggest that Mitt Romney has lost his edge on the economy, which is what his campaign is based on. Now back to you, Caroline.
Thanks again, Emmanuel. Feel like getting involved on campus? This coming week, see what our campus has to offer with the St. Jude Up Till Dawn event with Sigma Sigma Sigma, the Mexican Lottery, Inclusive Alliances Break the Cycle, Be the Change, and the Circle K International Dance-a-thon. Want to know all of the events that are going on at Lynchburg in the upcoming weeks? Find them all on our Lynchburg College website under the Student Activities Board Upcoming Events. And that wraps it up for another thrilling episode of Eye on LC. Be sure to like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week.